Assalamu alaikum. Hello, boys. How are you? Welcome to you in science class. So today we have reading session and
Hello,
a
teacher.
bit of explanation. Number one, which is about shadows and light and reflection. Yes, open your mic and read Khalid.
How is it? Yes, teacher.
Khalid, yes, start reading.
Read number one.
Yes.
We need light to see things. Number two, light comes from light source. Number three, we have natural and artificial
Artificial.
source.
Don't
Artificial
interrupt,
source
Mr.
of light. Four, the sun,
Hello,
moon,
Omar.
and stars are natural source of light. Five, torch, candle, and bulb are a reflective source
Hello.
of light. Six, light travel in a straight line. Seven, we see object after reflection of light. Eight, when light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. Nine, shadow are made when any object blocks light. Shadow change their as size.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
ما كنت أتغدى.
Muayyad, this is not your class. This is grade 5. انت تأخير يا مؤيد.
طيب.
Teacher.
Yes. Abdullah Faisal, read.
Okay. We need light to see things.
Fahad Al-Sufyani, this is not your class, I think.
عشان أستاذ الحين أنا دخلت.
طيب انت تأخير يا حبيبي. هذا فصل grade 5.
أنا عبد الله فيصل يا أستاذ.
No, I am talking about Fahad Sufyani.
Okay.
Fahad Sufyani, change your class, please. Yalla, Abdullah Faisal, read.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, read.
Okay. We need light to see things. Light comes from light source.
Sources.
We have sources. Okay. We have
Sources.
sources.
Ayo.
We have natural and
Yes.
artificial.
Artificial.
Okay. Sources of light, the sun, moon, and stars are natural sources of light.
Yes.
Torch, candle, and
Candle, yeah, Abdullah Faisal. Candle, what is mean by candle? There is no Y. If there is
candle,
Y,
okay.
you can, if this is Y, you can read candle. But this is E, so candle.
Candle, okay. Candle and bulb are reflection.
Artificial.
Okay.
Artificial.
Artificial, okay.
Ayo.
Source of light. Okay. Light travels in a straight line. We see objects after reflection. Okay.
Yes.
Of light. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection.
Very good.
Shadows
Yes.
are made when any object blocks light.
Yes.
Shadows change their size.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Okay, teacher.
Next is Dr. Omar Ala.
Yes, sir.
Yes, read please.
One.
Hello, teacher.
We need light to see things. 2. Light comes from light sources. 3. We have a natural and artificial source of light. Artificial source of light. 4. The sun, moon, and stars are natural source of light. 5. Torch, candle, and bulb are artificial source of light. 6. Light travels in a straight line. 7. We see objects after reflection of light. 8. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. Shadows are made with when any object blocks light. 10. Shadow change their size. Their
Shadows
size.
change their size. Thank you, Dr. Omar. Good.
You're welcome, sir.
Omar, Muhammad Noor.
Teacher, I don't read, teacher.
Yes, sir.
Teacher, I don't read. My name is Umar.
Just 1 second, let me see.
I'm
Wait, Muhammad.
teacher. I'm
Okay, Muhammad, you are Omar Muhammad, you are late. Yes, I know. Omar Ala, open your mic. No, Omar Ala, sorry, Muhammad
yes,
Noor.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need light to see things. Light comes from the source. Light comes from the light sources. We have a natural and artificial sources of light. The sun and moon and stars are natural sources of light. Torch and bulb are artificial source of light. Okay. Artificial source of light. Light travels from the light travels in a straight line. We see object after a reflection of light. When light sources bounces of an object is called reflection. Shadows are made when any object blocks light. Shadows change their size. Yes, teacher. I finished.
Thank you, Muhammad Noor. Good. Next, we have Muhammad Somali.
Yes.
Yes, read.
From the beginning.
Yes, from the beginning, please.
Teacher, I don't read, teacher.
Omar, yes, I know. Omar, I am going with the sequence, one by one.
We need light to see things.
Asil Rabi, are you there? Asil Rabi?
أستاذ أصير نقل أتوقع.
Asil Rabi, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
يا
Okay.
أخي. We need light to see things. Light comes from light sources. We have natural and artificial artificial source of light. The sun, moon, and stars are natural sources of light. Torch, candle, and bulb are artificial source of light. Light travels in a straight line. We see objects after reflection of light. When light bounces off an object, it's called reflection. Shadows are made when any object blocked light, shadows change their size.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Muhammad Abdullah Al Amri.
Yes.
Yes,
From one,
of course.
we need light to see things.
Yes,
To light comes from light source. We have natural and artificial.
artificial. Rakkis ya Habibi. Maybe I said 10 times. Artificial.
Okay, artificial source of light. The sun, moon, and stars are natural source of light. Torch,
Can I read after
torch,
Muhammad?
Wait, Yazan, please. Wait.
candle, and bulb are artificial source of light.
Yes.
Light travels in a straight line.
Excellent.
We see object after reflection of light.
Yes.
When light burns
Bounces.
bounces of an object, it is called reflection. Shadows are made when any object blocks light. Shadow taking three sides.
Their size.
Their size.
Okay. Nadeem.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Nadeem. Walid.
We need light to see things. Light comes from light sources. We have natural and artificial sources of light. The sun, moon, and stars are natural sources of light. Torch, candle, and bulb are artificial sources of light. Light travels in a straight line. We see object after reflection of light. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. Shadows are made when any object blocks light. Shadows change their size.
Thank you, Nadeem. Omar Muhammad.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Omar, read.
We need light to see things. Light comes from light sources. We have natural and artificial sources of light. The sun, moon, and stars are natural sources of light. Torch, candle, and bulb are artificial sources of light. Light travels in a straight line. We see objects after reflection of light. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. Shadows are made when any object blocks light. Shadows
Excellent,
change
Omar.
their size.
Excellent, Omar Muhammad. Thank you, Umar. Then we have Umar Yasir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
1. We need light to see things. 2. Light comes from light sources. 3. We have natural and artificial sources of light. Artificial sources of light. 4. The sun, moon, and stars are natural sources of light. Torch, candle, and bulb are artificial sources of light. Artificial source of light. Light travels in a straight line. We see objects after reflection of light. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. Shadows are made when any object blocks light. Shadows change their size.
Thank you, Umar. Very good. Yasan.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Number one, we need light to see things. 2, light comes from light sources. 3, we have natural and artificial artificial sources of light. The sun, moon, and stars are natural sources of light. 5, torch, candle, and bulb are artificial sources of light. 6, light travels in a straight line. 7, we see objects after reflection of light. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. 9, shadows are made when any object blocks light. 10, shadows change their size.
Excellent, Mr. Yazan. Thank you. Abdullah Liham, open your mic and start reading, please.
Okay, sir. Reading Unit 1. We need light to see things. Light comes from light sources. We have natural and artificial sources of light.
Excellent.
The sun, moon, and stars are natural sources of light. Torch, candle, and bulb are artificial sources of light. Light travels in a straight line. We see objects after reflection of light. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. Shadows are made when any object blocks light. Shadows change their size.
Thank you, Abdullah. So this was unit number 1, which we have done in first and second week. So first point is we need light to see things. As we know, if you don't know any point or you don't understand any point, you can tell me. Light comes from light sources. We have natural and artificial sources of light. The sun, moon, stars are natural sources of light. Torch, candle, bulb are artificial sources of light. Light travels in a straight line. You can change this. Yes.
Teacher, you say is the moon not source of light. The sun.
Yes, I changed it. Yes, Omar, I changed it. Fireflies, the sun, fireflies and stars are. Yes. Who is with me?
Teacher, this
Yes.
بتحطها في quiz or no?
Yes, next week. Thursday
Okay,
maybe.
thank you.
So I changed, look, the sun. Okay, we will write here the sun, fireflies and volcanoes are natural sources of light. I wrote here moon. Omar, excellent. Just to check who will answer like this. So you are with me, so it's fine, it's great. So the sun, fireflies and volcanoes are natural sources of light. Torch, candle and bulb are artificial sources of light. Moon is not a source of light because it does not give its own light. It just reflects the light like a mirror. Okay, you all read it, but just Umar noted the mistake. Just Umar told me this. Okay. Light travels in a straight line. We see objects after reflection of light. We cannot see with our eyes if there is no light. When light bounces off an object, it is called reflection. Yani nekas. Shadows are made when an object blocks the light. Shadows change their size. Okay, now who will tell me about 3 objects? As I told you before, there are 3 types of objects. Anyone?
Liquid gas.
Sir, what did you say again, please?
I have explained three types
Solid, liquid, gas.
No, mashallah. Solid, liquid, gas for light.
Sir, sun.
For light, sun,
In my last,
And lamp.
lamp.
no, I explained in my last
candle.
session.
Lamp, torch, and the sun.
Khalid,
Torch,
isma,
shut
Khalid,
it.
isma.
Lamp, torch, and gas.
Abdullah Liham, be obedient. I explained in my last lecture, Mafi Alhin. Last lecture, I told you about three different types of materials. Like one, you can see a little bit, all light, some light, full light, like that I told you. What was that? Anybody? Some light, all light, or no light passes through. Yes, Khalid. What?
Transparent object.
Yes, Omar, excellent. Transparent.
Translucent object.
Aywa. Khalas, now I got it. Omar told me now. Now you will copy just. Omar Muhammad told me just. Today Omar Muhammad is excellent because he told me about moon and he is saying about this answer also. Transparent object, translucent object, and opaque objects. Okay. So shadows we are discussing. Shadows are made when anyone blocks the light. Any object, anything which is opaque. If the thing is opaque, the shadow is dark. Okay. Dark shadows are made with opaque objects. Look, the ball is opaque. There is shadow. From the right and the left, there is light passing. The light is traveling in a straight line, right? And you can see on the way there is an object which is ball, and you can see the shadow, not the light like around. Understood? So this is how shadows are made. So now objectives are properties of light. Anyone can tell me properties of light?
Light source.
Light travels in a
Straight line.
light travels in a straight line, and
Light travel. Light travel.
how light travels, slow or fast?
Fast.
Fast.
Light is the fastest.
First in the sense.
How do we make shadows?
Light source.
Anything blocks the light.
Yes.
Anything blocks the light.
Anything,
Block the light. Anything block the light.
yes, when anything or any object blocks the light. Yes. Then transparent, opaque, and translucent object. At last, I will give you an assessment or assignment. Properties of light are: light travels in a straight line in a very high speed. Properties of light are yani khususiyat takhassus, travels in a straight line and very high speed. Okay. How shadows are made? Shadows are made when something blocks the light. We can make shadow by blocking light. Like you can also make a shadow by blocking the light. Like you can take the torch, switch on, and make the shadows with your hands. Different shapes, right? Understood or not? Any problem?
Okay.
Okay. Kinds of objects. There are three kinds of objects, as I told you: translucent, transparent, and opaque. Transparent objects allow all light to pass through them. Transparent objects allow all light to pass through them, all light. As you can see, it's written A, B, C, whatever, you can read it clearly, right? Then number two, translucent objects. Translucent objects, some light passes through them. Here you can see a little bit B and C, but not clearly like transparent objects. As for opaque objects, no light passes through them. Here you cannot read anything because this is an opaque object. Understood? Like
Yes.
transparent object is like your glasses, what you use.
Yes, teacher, understand.
Nazara, translucent objects like tissue paper and colored glasses. And the opaque objects are, you cannot see anything through them or no light passes through them. Any problem in these three? Because on Thursday, inshallah, you will have quiz
No.
about this. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Now your
Okay.
homework. What will you do? Write two properties of the light. As I told you, two properties. Light travels in a straight line and at a very high speed.
Sir,
Then-
is this in book?
Right? No, this is not in book. Then we
Okay.
have write examples of transparent, opaque and translucent objects. You will write 3 for each. 3 transparent, 3 translucent and 3 opaque objects, right? Any question
Yes.
about this?
Yes, teacher.
No,
teacher.
teacher.
No.
Thanks.
I don't understand. I did not understand.
Okay, Omar, what did you get?
The last one I did not understand.
This one, right? Assessment.
No.
Yeah.
Teacher,
Right,
all light
two
to sunlight, no light.
Yeah, Abdullah Faisal, listen to me. Write two properties of the light as I show you here. Properties of light. These are properties of light. Check. Number 1, travels in a straight line. Number 2, at a very high speed. Okay. Then
Teacher,
write
can you
examples
send
of
this?
transparent, opaque and translucent opaque like opaque objects. Opaque are what? Your book is opaque. Walls are opaque. Okay. Then table or wood or plastic, these are opaque objects. You cannot see through them. Okay. So you will search about this transparent, translucent and opaque objects. You will write here. Maslan اكتب هنا khasham yani wood. It is opaque. Then your book. Then walls. هذا ثلاثة opaque. بعدين اكتب هنا ثلاثة transparent. بعدين translucent. Yani 3. Okay.
Okay.
Now any problem?
Okay.
No.
Teacher,
Yes, Omar.
teacher, you can send this on the group.
This one? Yes, I will
Yes.
send. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
I will send it now. Okay. Yalla, okay, boys.
Okay.
If you have any question, you can ask now. You can
No,
open your
thanks.
video and you can ask.
Okay. Goodbye.
Yes. Omar, Dr. Omar. Goodbye.
Bye, sir.